Yo, what's good, guys? It's the 2mm defeater here, or Luna. Yo, y'all are getting out of hand with these top comment intros. Yeah, if you want, leave a comment with an intro and I might put it in my next video. So anyway, today's story time, in my opinion, is a pretty good one. It's a very recent one. It took place yesterday, and it involves somebody that I've been talking about on this channel a little bit. So if you're unfamiliar with the E-Girl series on this YouTube channel, there's this girl who I've known for a very long time now. And it's not like we're close friends or anything. It's actually the complete opposite of that. But she used to date my friend online, and there was a whole bunch of drama with me and her. Honestly, I can't even explain it all, so I would just recommend watching the videos. I'll link them all in the description. There's only really a few of them, so you can catch up pretty quick, and I highly suggest you do, because this story time is directly linked to all of those. So this story time all starts off as a normal day. I wake up yesterday, having a nice normal morning. I get up, I eat some breakfast, I take a shower. I just have a nice, relaxing, calm morning, thinking to myself, today's going to be a good day. Nothing can go wrong. And can you guess what happened? Things went terribly wrong. So I go upstairs to work on a video, and I sit down on my computer, and my internet's not working. Now, it's not unlike my internet to just cut out sometimes, so I didn't really think much of it. I was like, oh, no big deal, my internet just cut out. So I go downstairs, I unplug my router, I plug it back in, and then it comes on for a second, and then it just stops working again. And I'm like, yo, what's going on with my internet? It's never been this terrible. It's pretty bad sometimes, but never this bad. So I call up my internet provider, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why isn't my internet working? And the guy's like, well, sir, we don't see any outages in your area, so you should have internet. And I'm like, well, I don't have internet. He's like, oh, well, you should. I'm like, well, I don't, sir. And he goes, well, did you try unplugging the router and plugging it back in, sir? I was like, yeah, I did. He goes, try again. I'm like, okay. So I do it again. And he's like, did it work? I'm like, nah, man, it didn't work. I don't know why I'm making this guy's voice sound like Mr. Mackey from South Park, but he definitely kind of sounded like that. Anyway, I try unplugging it and plugging it back in a second time. Doesn't work. I tried a third time while I'm on the phone. Doesn't work again. So I'm thinking to myself, yo, what is going on with my internet? Is someone hitting me offline? I haven't been hit offline in so long. There's no way I'm getting DDoSed right now. That can't be it. And the guy on the phone goes, hey, but is your modem plugged in? And I was like, yeah, man, my modem's plugged in. He's like, okay, well, let me know if you find a fix. I'm like, yeah, man, I will. He goes, have a good day. And I'm like, okay, thank you. You too, random internet man. So I hang up the phone with him. I go about my day just trying to not focus on it. I kind of just sit in bed for an hour on my phone, on data, just watching videos on YouTube. And all of a sudden, I get a text on my phone that says, if you want your internet back, give me a call. And it's from a random number I've never seen before. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? So I text them back and I go, who is this? And they go, you know me, you'll see. So I'm like, okay. So I go to call them, and they ignore the call, which was just confusing because they told me to call them in the first place. Why would they ignore it? And then a minute later, I get a FaceTime call from this number. So they didn't want to call me. They wanted a FaceTime call. So I answer it because I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, whatever. What else am I going to lose at this point? My internet's already done. So I answer the phone, and I'm greeted to an image of none other than the E-Girl herself just staring me down with a death stare. And I was like, oh, it's you. And she goes, what's up, Austin? I was like, hello, random E-Girl that won't leave me alone. And she goes, oh, don't worry, I'll leave you alone under one circumstance. I'm like, what's up? She goes, stop making those stupid YouTube videos about me, and you can have your internet back forever. I'm like, so you hit my internet offline so I wouldn't make a video about you when I didn't even plan on making any more videos about you. If anything, you just gave me a new video. I had nothing else to say about you until today. And she goes, Austin, this will not be a video on your channel. And I go, E-Girl, yes it will. And she goes, Austin, if you upload a video about this, I'm going to come at you harder than I've ever came at you before. And I was like, what are you going to do, hold my internet offline for a couple days? Listen, I know I'm a nerd, but I'm not that much of a nerd, okay? I can survive for 2 days without internet. I'm not going to crumble and turn into dust particles if I don't have my router for 2 days. It's fine. I'm not Thanos. I'm all good. And she goes, Austin, I know some very important people. These people will do things to you that you do not want done. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? And she goes, internet people. They'll swat you. They'll put your info everywhere. They'll send pizzas to your front door until you're drowning in pepperoni. And I'm like, okay, you are an evil human being. It's one thing to threaten me with holding my internet off forever or, swatting me, but to drown me in pizza toppings? Come on, don't do that. Please, E-Girl, don't. And she goes, Austin, I'm not fucking kidding. If you upload one more video about me, I'm telling my friend to keep your internet offline forever, and I'm going to have him swat you. And I'm like, you are a mean, sad little individual. So I hang up on her and I call it at that, right? I think that'll be the end of it. Her threats are probably empty anyway. She probably won't do anything. And she calls me back immediately. And I answer the phone and I go, Austin residence, this is Austin speaking. How may I help you? And she goes, Austin, I'm sick of you taking this like a joke. And then it crosses my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, how'd you get my number? She goes, oh, I had my hacker friend call your phone provider and get it for me. And I was like, oh, thanks. Like, good to know you're just, talking to my phone provider. So at this point, I realized that her hacker friend can probably do a little bit more than I think he can because he's holding my internet offline and he got my phone number. So, maybe he isn't someone to mess around with. So I stopped making it a meme and I stopped joking with her. And I'm like, listen, I'll make you a deal. I won't make a video about this whole situation if my internet's back online in 10 minutes. And she goes, okay, deal. And we hang up. And my internet wasn't back for 30. So, hello, new story time. So fast forward to today, I wake up and I start working on my video for the day. And I get a call from a restricted phone number. And I answer the phone, and it's her. And she goes, hey, Austin, did your internet come back on last night? And I was like, yeah, it took you a little bit longer than you said you would. So you broke the deal. And she goes, what deal? I'm like, I told you, 10 minutes and I won't make a video. Took 30. She goes, oh, come on. And I just got the best smirk on my face. But at the same time, I was also nervous because me making this story time right now will probably result in her bothering me even more. But hey, at the end of the day, that's just more content, so whatever. I don't even know why she hates these videos so much. They're not that bad. Like the ones I made previous to this, they do show a little bit of her crazy side, but it's not nearly as bad as like the TikTok girl series or like the crazy babysitter series or any of the other storytime series on my channel that are like way more insane than this. But hey, I guess, some people just don't like me, so fair enough. So yeah, if you're watching this, e-girl, I hope you're not mad at me. But at the same time, you threatened me with a lot of different things that were way worse than just a YouTube video, so I guess we're even, right? But yeah, guys, if you're ever in a situation like this one where there's a hacker threatening you or somebody's threatening you, don't treat it the way I did. Don't make a joke out of it, because it's probably not funny. Like, this could have gone a lot worse than it did. Like, for all I know, that hacker could have, like, swatted me on sight right when I started making a joke out of it. So if anyone's ever threatening you and being, just creepy like she was, definitely call the police instead of just being like me and ignoring the situation. But yeah, guys, moral of the story is, don't be like this e-girl. Definitely don't be like that. Be nice to people. Treat them how you would want to be treated, because she didn't like me so much that she was willing to drown me in pizza toppings. Come on, that's as evil as it gets. Like, pizza toppings? Seriously? Imagine drowning in pepperoni and pineapple. Like, that would just be not a fun time. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time and found it interesting / crazy, because I definitely did. If you did enjoy this story time, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And yeah, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace out.
Butterfly on the doors, make them all go. 30K in my face, I still don't show. You talking down when you looking up and I'm like, what's up? You talking down when you looking up and I'm like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread, that's how